What's up, everybody? This is JD the Dragon, and I'm coming to you with, well, a character we have not seen for quite a while. Rickon Stark and his direwolf Shaggy Dog. Now, we've heard and we know he's alive. In the books, he's at Skagos, and in the show, he's at Last Hearth. And in both places, he's with Osha. Now, before I get into what I think is going to happen, let's look at Rickon and what we know about him. Now, when he's a little kid, Bran falls off the tower, or pushed off the tower actually, and his mom stays with him. Now in this, Rickon clings to Robb Stark, and he cries a lot. And then he finds out Robb is headed to a war. This upsets Rickon really, really bad, and they find him in the crypts of Winterfell, where him and Shaggy Dog attack two men, and he has a sword that he had taken from the tombs. So we see an attitude starting to form in Rickon. Now, Catelyn leaves, so now Rickon is completely unsupervised. Well, this really isn't a good thing because Rickon develops a really unruly and violent temper, which reflects in Shaggy Dog. Shaggy Dog's temper is just as bad. Now, Shaggy Dog attacks some people, and Bran has to use Summer to put Shaggy Dog into submission. Now, we can see Shaggy Dog's reflection of Rickon's new temper. So here's a question: is Rickon warped into Shaggy Dog a few times? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know, but I think it's completely possible. Now, after Theon takes over Winterfell, Rickon, Brandon, Hodor, and Osha, Summer, and Shaggy Dog go down to the crypts of Winterfell and hide until Ramsay Snow tricks Theon and ends up taking Winterfell back, and he burns it to the ground. And when they escape, they found Master Luwin dying. Now, Master Luwin tells Osha to separate the boys and to take Rickon to a place completely unknown. Now, in the show, he tells him to take him to, I think it's the Umber's Last Hearth, which is ran by the Umbers. So we see this happen. Now here's the difference between the show and the book. In the book, we see this violent temper. We see all this rage starting to develop in Rickon. We don't see that in the shows at all. Actually, Rickon's a quite quiet little kid. The only thing he really does is hang around with Shaggy Dog. He goes down the crypts. He talks to his dad. Then he follows around, and then he leaves with Osha, something like that. Now, let's fast forward to A Dance with Dragons. Davos is going to White Harbor looking for the Manderleys to join Stannis. And this is where we learn of Rickon being still alive. And the only way the Manderleys will join Stannis is if Davos comes back with Rickon and Shaggy Dog. He has to have the dog. He has to have the direwolf with him. Because they think that the Boltons have Arya Stark, which we know is not true. Now Davos asks where Rickon is at. Lex can't talk, but he throws a dagger at a sheepskin map, and it lands on Skagos. Now, what do we know about Skagos? Well, after I did some research, it is a large island in the Bay of Seals. We know at one point in time it was sworn to Winterfell, and it still could be, but it does not go by Westeros rules. They actually rule themselves, and Skagos means stone in the old tongue. Now, there are a lot of legends about this island, and it used to be kind of a cannibalistic island, which we are informed was by Master Boulders, and in his book it tells the edge of the world. They also raided islands in parts of Westeros until Bran and Stark broke their power by destroying their ships and forbidding them to go onto the sea. Now they rebelled, but they lost, but it was a year battle. Both sides lost a lot of men. They've also served in the Night's Watch. Well, supposedly some of them have. And here's the greatest thing ever. They supposedly have unicorns on this island. So, another one that caught me off guard was the hardest sailor that ever existed, the Blind Bastard. He even feared to go to this place. Crazy, right? What the hell is up with this island? I'm extremely curious. I do want to read about more when Winds of Winter come out. So why did Osha take him here with all this supposedly crazy stuff that goes on? And all the tales that we learn? Well, of course, this is written by a maester, right? Okay. Now Davos has to travel there to get Rickon and Shaggy Dog. Now here's something to think about. Here are my predictions for this. Probably wrong, but that's fine. This is the whole fun in this. So Davos shows up and he gets Rickon and Shaggy Dog. Now what if the island of Skagos joins Rickon in the war to take back the North from the Boltons? So now we know after the Winds of Winter chapter from Theon that the Manderleys and Freys do not get along at all, because the Freys are the ones that have been, and the Boltons are the ones that turn their back on House Stark. The Manderleys are really big House Stark supporters. So what if this happens? What if we get ready to attack? Now we know that Stannis' men have been fishing the lakes around this town, and they've dug holes. So what if the Freys attack? A lot of them fall through the holes, crack the ice, and drown. The ones that get through, Stannis' men take out. After this, the Manderleys go back to the Boltons and Winterfell and regather for another attack. In the process of this, Davos returns with Rickon and Shaggy Dog and the troops of the island, from the island. Plus Stannis' sellswords now have shown up. When the Boltons and Manderleys come back for another attack, they see Rickon and Shaggy Dog next to Stannis. The Manderleys turn coat and join Stannis, and they defeat the Boltons. Now that's what the book. Now let's do the show. Okay, in the show, Rickon is in Last Hearth, which is House of the Umbers, and it lies next to the Gift, west of the Bay of Sils. With the exception of the Night's Watch, it's the most northern castle. Now here's the thing about Last Hearth. The Umbers, Great John, Small John, led most of their men with Robb Stark into war. So why did Osha take him here? Another crazy place, right? Well, let's think about this for a minute. There's two people besides whoever controls Last Hearth that know that Rickon is still alive. Theon and Sansa. So let's think about this one for a minute. Maybe Sansa heads north, not south. Maybe she runs into the Riverlands. Maybe she comes across somebody that knows that Rickon's alive, and he's in Last Hearth. Or maybe she just travels, like she's headed to the Night's Watch, and she ends up coming across Last Hearth and stay the night and finds Rickon. So, but what's the thing with this one? So now we know that Stannis is dead in the show. His whole army is defeated. The sellswords turn their back. They split. And the Boltons have a pretty big army from what we've seen. So this could be how the North actually revolts against House Bolton and takes back the North for the Starks with the new King of the North. And that is my prediction. I think Rickon will become the new King of the North with the help of, in the book, with Stannis and Davos, and then in the show with Theon and Sansa. So there's my prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know the deal. Leave comments, subscribe. You guys have a good night. Peace.